I created this monster. And then I had to, over the years to come, defeat that monster and awake to my own self. Boxing and meditation and that routine and discipline and eating healthy and stopping to drink and smoke and just being sober for the first time in a while, like because of boxing and these things, it gave me that space to really figure out who I was.
So 5 years ago, you're in Los Angeles. You're making, I think you said at one point, like 800 videos in a row, over 800 days. Could you have ever thought that 5 years later, you'd be here, a professional boxer, going a completely different direction?
Not at all. Not at all. I couldn't have ever guessed this, predicted it, wrote it. And if someone would have came up to me then and was like, this is what your life's gonna be like in 5 years, take a look. I would just be like, okay, bro, get out of my face, crazy person.
When did social media kind of take hold for you? What are your earliest memories of social media?
Yeah, wow. I guess it was MySpace, but I wasn't allowed to have MySpace. But eventually, I think when I was 13 or 14, I made a Twitter. And that's how I eventually found out about Vine.
The sneeze.
But then one spring break, we were like, we're gonna film the sickest video we filmed yet. This like week long of pranks.
Dude, what the hell? Bye!
And when we edited it and posted it, it got like 2,000 views and people in the school were talking about it. Teachers were literally playing it in their classrooms.
SpongeBob, I know you're in there. You need to come out right now.
When does it go from being this fun thing that you and your brother are doing to something you're making money off of?
A company was like, hey, I'll pay you $200 to promote my app. And so I was like, all right, sure. Like that, to me, that was insane that I'm gonna get paid $200 for this 6-second video. The app went #1 on the App Store. And then they wanted to come back to pay us again. And me and my dad were like, yo, that went #1 on the App Store. We want $10,000. And they were like, okay. So I was 16 years old, getting paid $10,000 for 6 seconds. And that's when I was like, what the is going on here? I need to put all my time and effort into this. That was my main goal, was to grow that.
Oh, you need a ride home.
It started off as $10,000, but then 6 months later, it was $100,000. And we're just sitting there, all right, like, why the not? Let's keep going. Let's do this. Let's move to Los Angeles and pursue entertainment and grow and expand our platforms. And we're good at this and we're having fun.
Yo, why are you out here recording old ladies? Subscribers, likes, views, money. I like that!
In those early years, were you enjoying it?
For sure. I was in this like ignorance is bliss stage of life. I had no idea I was like digging myself into what would eventually become pressure and dark world, surrounding myself with the wrong people. I was just like this kid who didn't know anything but to like have fun and be happy, and then life like hit me in the face full throttle. It's the higher you climb, the windier it gets. But at first I was enjoying it a lot more, for sure.
What's up, guys? Today's gonna be awesome.
Like YouTube is a mental illness. Like it's seriously like it's this terrible tunnel that you're digging yourself into to keep on like one-upping yourself. And if you're someone like me, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to prove everyone wrong. I wanted to be the first person in my family with money. I wanted to, make my parents proud. I wanted to make myself proud. I wanted my teachers and all the kids who laughed at my dreams, I wanted to prove them wrong. And so you're in this sort of trap where it's like, I don't want to be this character. I don't want to be this YouTuber. I don't want to do these videos, but I also do want everything that comes along with it. I want to prove people wrong. I want to make money. I want to be able to retire. And it's you're digging yourself into the hole, and like you almost have to eject yourself out of it to like save yourself. So yeah, that's kind of where really like boxing came into play and helped dig me out of that hole that I was in, for sure. If it wasn't for boxing, I wouldn't have stopped and put the camera down. And when I put the camera down was when I realized, what did I just film for the last 2 years? What is my image? What is my character? What were these things that I didn't even like that I did? I regret that. I shouldn't have done this. This is bad. Like, what the f did I just do? I created this monster. And then I had to, over the years to come, defeat that monster and awake to my own self. So boxing and meditation and that routine and discipline and eating healthy and stopping to drink and smoke and just being sober for the first time in a while, like because of boxing and these things, it gave me that space to really figure out who I was.
So you get the offer to fight Deji, and what's your first reaction to that?
I was excited. Like, I was like, this is fun. Like, I grew up watching fighting. I'm a wrestler, so like I understand a one-on-one sport. But other than that, like I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Like when I showed up to it was 10 Goose Boxing Gym with Ricky, and he was like, all right, jump rope for 15 minutes, like on the first day. And I was like, all right, 15 minutes? Like that's a long time. And and like 4 minutes in, my calves are lit up on fire, and I'm like laughing at him. I'm like, all right, like you're joking, like, well, and that was the start of it all. And like it was like the hardest workout I'd ever done in my life, even harder than wrestling. And I thought wrestling was insanely hard, but something about it I loved, and I just kept coming back.
You experienced the highs of YouTube success. How does that compare to the high of stopping an opponent in the ring for the first time?
It's not even close. Like being a boxer is way cooler. Like on YouTube, like no one respects you. Like no one cares. Like boxing, it's like people just praise you. They think it's like the coolest thing. You're a modern day gladiator. And it's just you in there. So you get all the praise, all the love, all the glory. You're just the center of attention, plastered all over the internet. You go viral, and you're actually respected. What
are you kind of feeling, even as you're in the locker room and it's a packed arena? What are you feeling in those moments?
It's weird because I wasn't that nervous because I didn't realize how hard it was about to become. Like sparring's one thing, and I know I trained hard, but it wasn't until the first round when I like had an adrenaline dump and had no idea how to manage my heart rate and was sort of abandoning the technique and not staying calm, that it became the hardest thing in the world. And the next 4 rounds were quite literally like hell, really, like 5 rounds of hell. But when I won, it was such an amazing feeling. It was the best feeling.
Did the Gibb fight feel different? It was the first professional fight, so no headgear, professional rules.
Yeah, everything felt different. mostly being in Big Bear with Shane was my first real taste of boxing. Shane really showed me the lifestyle of a real, true professional boxer and had me around a lot of higher level pros. Leading up to it, Shane was like, you have power, you're strong, you're gonna knock people out. And I didn't really believe him. I didn't really know. Like, I didn't not believe him, but I didn't believe him. And so when I did that, I was like, oh wow. Like he wasn't just like saying that.
This is what you show the knockdown by Paul.
Has boxing given you a sense of purpose?
For sure. And tons of purpose. Building my foundation, which I always wanted to have a foundation. I just didn't know what it was gonna be. And fighting for kids maybe like me out there who see themselves in me, to show them what's possible, to inspire the next generation of kids. And my goal is to become the world champion, because I believe when I do that, it's gonna really show kids that like you can go from being the laughing stock of a sport, not being taken seriously, and being written off as a joke, and being told you'll never beat anyone or you'll never beat a boxer, you'll never become a world champion, to, you know, in maybe 6-7 years actually doing it. I think that what that'll show kids is if they want to be a doctor, if they want to be the next Elon Musk, if they want to do whatever it is, their wildest dream, and everyone is telling them that they can't, that they actually can.
When I talked to your brother about where you would be without boxing, he said, I don't know, but it would probably be a bad place. Do you agree with that?
For sure, without a doubt. I probably would have been in like jail, prison, or like dead on the side of the road from some shit. Like, yeah.
You described losing as your biggest fear, or at least it was before the fight with Tommy Fury. How much thought did you give it to walking away after the loss to Tommy?
I gave it one thought for about 25 seconds. And that was like that night and the next morning. And I was just like, bro, like, stop it. Like, don't think. But I was in like a low place. And I think it's good to have that thought, because then once I expel it, I know that this is what I want. Even though it's sour right now, like all the good moments, everything that this sport has done for me and gained for me and helped me through as a human, this is exactly what you're destined for. And you're gonna show others how to deal with this loss. And have been in the gym every single day since then. I'm back and better than I've ever been. Everything in life happens for a reason, and I needed that loss for many reasons. I'm actually more confident in myself now. I'm more confident in my team now. I'm more confident in all of these things because of the loss. And I'm actually more certain that I can become world champion now than I was before.
Gets asked a lot, is Jake Paul good for boxing?
Great for boxing, great. I mean, for so many reasons, but first and foremost, just bringing like 70 million of my fans to this sport that are now, you know, making it. A study was done, and boxing is like the number 3 most talked about and interested in sport for the next generation, up from the years prior, like 10 spots. And so what is that? Who did that? It's pretty obvious. This sport saved my life, and so I want to help get the sport out there for more people so it can save their lives. And that's, to me, is how I pay back this sport.
How long do you want to fight?
Until I become world champion. But I think that'll take like probably 3 more years from now. So yeah, we got a little sprint here.
But that's actually still, I mean, do you believe that's realistic?
Well, it's maybe not realistic like you're saying, but I think nothing in my life is realistic. So I've never lived inside the boundaries of anything possible. So why start now?